everyone, in this video we're looking at how to create 2D pocket toolpaths when working with a 2D design file in Makera CAM. Now we used to call 2D pocket toolpaths vector pocket toolpaths, as we often refer to our 2D design files like this as a vector file, but now that Makera CAM gives you the ability to work with both 2D and 3D design files, we've renamed these things to easily distinguish based on the type of files that you're working with. Pockets can be used to clear out inner cavities within your design, such as the text that you can see on my part here. So when you have a cavity or a pocket within your design, you want to go ahead and select that part of your design before creating a 2D pocket toolpath. We can first set our start depth, which is usually 0 at the top of your stock, and then you can set an end depth at how deep you'd like to cut into your design. This is automatically determined when working with 3D files, but with 2D files, we have to set how deep we would like our pockets to be created. You can see that I'm working with a 5mm thick piece of stock, so I'm going to set my pockets to be cut at just a depth of 1mm. Last pass depth enables a finishing pass, and you can set the specific height that you'd like that finishing pass to be cut if that's something that you'd like to do with your toolpath. Clearance height can be set off the defaults if you want to work around specific clamps or fixtures on your bed, but usually the defaults should work fine. And then we have the option to select our cutting tools. So I'm going to delete the tool that was set previously and then select a 12mm by 3.175mm end mill. And you'll see that my properties are automatically set based upon the stock. So I'm working with aluminum, so it automatically selects the aluminum cutting properties. And if you want to change the properties or change your feeds and speeds off of the defaults, you can do so here. For example, you may want to change your step down if you want to remove a little bit less material or more material per pass as you work down. You can also change any of your spindle speeds or plunge speeds, or assign this tool to be a different tool number, whether that's corresponding with the automatic tool changer for your Carvera, or just setting it to be a different tool number in relative to the other tools that you're using with your Carvera Air. After choosing our bits, we can then look at our path strategies. You have the option to do an offset path, which will kind of follow the contours around your text and work around the different aspects within your design to machine a precise pocket around all the edges, or parallel, which will pan side to side. We usually use offset when creating detailed pockets like this, and parallel when creating facing operations on top of our stock. And parallel whenever facing our stock, so removing a large amount of material on the surface of our stock. You can choose to work inside out as well as switch between climb milling or conventional milling, but typically we would work with climb milling. You also have the ability to offset. So for example, instead of following along the contours here, if I wanted to make the pocket bigger or smaller in either the inner or outer directions, I can set my offsets as well. The last parameter that we have to manipulate is ramping. And what ramping will do is actually allow the bit to enter your stock at a ramp or slope rather than coming straight down. This is great when you're working with hard materials like aluminum and other metals, as it reduces the initial strain on your cutting tool. We can typically set a smaller ramp distance of 5 or 10mm, and an angle of anywhere between 3 or 10 degrees usually works quite well, and a start height of 1 also usually works quite well as a general default. So if we click calculate, you'll see that our toolpath is generated, and you'll notice that the toolpath doesn't quite follow along my pocket well. And that's because the size bit that I've chosen, this 3.175mm end mill, doesn't really fit in this smaller pocket. Let's delete this end mill and instead select a slightly smaller one, like a 2.5mm end mill. After changing my bit, I'm going to recalculate, and you'll see that this one fits significantly better. So the majority of these letters were created, but it's still not quite crisp around all of my corners here as I'm working with my design. Now, what you can often do with a pocket toolpath is actually use more than one bit, where you actually have a larger bit clear out a lot of material quickly, then a smaller bit come in and clear out some fine details. And this can be done in Makera CAM all within a single toolpath operation. So in addition to working with this 2.5mm drill bit, let's add a much smaller drill bit, like a 1mm drill bit. And you always want to have the larger bit before the smaller bit. So this 2.5mm bit will clear out quite a bit of material. Then your machine will either automatically switch to the smaller bit if you have the Carvera, or prompt you to load the smaller bit with the Carvera Air, and the smaller bit will just clear out the corners and anywhere that the larger bit couldn't fit. You always want to make sure that these bits are, again, in order from big bit to small bit, and that they have different tool numbers. So I'm going to assign a different number to the smaller bit here. Then when I recalculate, you can notice that the toolpath gets much closer and much tighter around the intricacies of my design because this smaller bit is able to get into the fine corners. You'll also notice that looking at this path, we can see that we actually have two tools being used, Tool 4 and Tool 2, to create this pocket operation. Now, I just mentioned earlier that you can also use pockets to face or surface your material. Now, let's say, for example, I want this part to not be a full 5 millimeters thick. I actually want to remove 2 millimeters of material first. Well, to do that, I'm going to select this outer perimeter in my design and create a pocket toolpath again. We can select a much larger bit, for example, a 3.175 millimeter bit, and I'm going to set the end depth to be 2 millimeters, which will remove 2 millimeters off the top of my stock. Down here for strategies, we'll switch to a parallel strategy, which will just pan side to side as we work through our design. And I'm going to set an offset of -5 millimeters. So in addition to surfacing the inner perimeter of my part, I'm also going to surface just a bit around it. So that way I have a good boundary that's also cut to be the height that I want. After calculating, you'll see that we now have this surfacing pass around our material, again using a pocket operation. If I then wanted to recreate the pocket for these inner features of my design, rather than starting at a height of 0, I could actually start at a height of 2 millimeters, because that's what was just removed, and then machine to an M depth of 3 millimeters instead. Now when we look at this toolpath, you'll see that these are actually set within my stock. And if I enable this first pocket, you'll see that the material was removed above to allow us to create a surface material and an inner pocket cut, all with a 2D pocket operation. Alternatively, let's say that I selected the entirety of the design, so the outline, the text, the letters, everything. What would then happen if we go ahead and create a pocket? Now you can see it's actually machining the area around the text. So instead of giving me text that's cut into the design or a surfaced piece of material, it would now actually give me raised text around the design. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay tuned for more on the Makera channel and wiki site.